Hi, welcome everyone. It's Brian from Captain Savage Aquatics. Just doing a late night live stream slash update of the fish room. Like I said, I was going to do earlier in my last live stream. So I'm just going to wait for some people to roll in here and go from there. And hopefully I'm not stepping on anyone's toes. Hey, how you doing, Crystal Sack Aquatics? Don't mind me. I'm just I'm good. I started a little later than I wanted to, but that's all right. Just waiting for a code so I can get the live stream opened up on my desktop, because I'm streaming from my phone. So yeah, that's that. Do you know if anyone else is on tonight streaming? I didn't think to check. So I'm good, Crystal. Appreciate you asking. I haven't seen any other streams at this point. Oh, okay. At this point, I'll have a look. Oh, let me minimize that volume. Sorry if it's kind of loud. I just got the thing open in the background on my desktop, so I'm just gonna give it a few minutes till everyone rolls in here and go from there. Then I'll start doing a quick little tour of the fish room or my fish apartment. So how was your Christmas, Crystal? Mine was all right. Spent time at my mother-in-law's. Got to see my son open presents before I had to work on Christmas Day. Spent the last couple days after Christmas there. Crystal Sacrifice says Jeff Rose streamed earlier, but I missed that one. Can't see anyone else on. Okay. It's kind of late anyways. It's what, after midnight, I believe. Yeah, it's 12:06. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'll give this about another minute or two, and then I'm going to start doing what I'm going to do. I know I did stream earlier today, so I don't know if everyone thought I was going to take a break for the night or what, but I did say I was probably going to be back on around 10 or 11 p.m. tonight, somewhere between 10 and 11 at latest, from like 10 on, I was going to try and get on at some point. So yeah, that's what's going on. Don't mind me, I'm this. My kids were with their dad for Christmas, so not too much. I can understand that. I know how that goes, because I get my son. He goes with my wife. We've been separated for a little bit, but for almost 4 years. But we get along with each other, which is a good thing. Just going, you know how it goes. Just two different directions. So, yeah, okay. Now that I've shared that with like all the people I'm subbed to, hopefully this will pick up. It's only every fourth Christmas when they aren't working. Gotcha. Makes sense. It happens. And I had to work Christmas, but like I said, I got to see my son. I spent the night Sunday into Monday, Monday morning through Sunday, into Tuesday morning. Help him set up his new PlayStation 4 Pro and all that fun stuff. So it was nice to see him open his presents. Then I went to work for a little bit, and then kind of rinsed and repeat, minus the Christmas present opening for the next couple of days after that, because I had to work yesterday or Tuesday, Wednesday, took today or Thursday off, which is now Friday morning. So yeah, that's what's going on. Kind of enjoyed my my day off though. I haven't, I worked my last Thursday, so it was nice to just be able to get here, do the other live stream during the day, and have about 20 people in at one point watching the stream. But I was stuck to my desktop then because I can't really move the cameras around. I don't have enough cord to do that. Otherwise, I would just do a mobile live stream right from the a USB camera. But I think I would need like a 30-foot length of cord plugged into the USB in order to do it. That, and it'd probably be shaky, really shaky. But all right, it's going on about 6 minutes in here, so I'm just gonna start. It says there's 3 watching, so if someone's hiding or lurking, just say something in the stream. Oh, Dap. Oh, Cap. Cappy, yep. What's up, Fish Tropic? How you doing, buddy? I'm just doing a live stream from my phone, so I don't have Google Hangouts open. It's through the app. Yeah, Crystal Shack Aquatics says that'd be a huge cord, but you know what? Then I wouldn't have to worry about my cell phone battery dying. Money is streaming also. Oh, okay. I thought I got a notification from him, but I was busy doing other stuff. Some other mining cleaning up, and I had to run out. Then I came back and all that. Fish Tropic says Captain is up all the time planning. Yep, he is savage. That's correct. So let me start moving around my place. You know what? I'll give it one more minute, and then I'll go and start doing a kind of quick update video on all my tanks real quick, and then go from there. Answer people's questions, all that fun stuff. So at the 8-minute 30-second mark, I will start that. He is savage. What, Steve? Yeah, right. Be right back. Gonna go grab a beer from the fridge. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do here shortly when I go into the kitchen to show off the 20 long with the Vodka buffer, the super reds that are still in there, the peppered cory cats, the blue lobster that's in there, stuff like that. But it's time, Captain, talk about the good foods for fish tonight. Yep, I can do that. I can actually make a video on that. That's good content right there, where it's maybe not a live stream, but go from there. So I was gonna make other videos, but I got tied up running around after I'd finished the live stream. Went to go get food and on some other small errands and stuff like that. So let me unplug this phone and let's get on moving around and showing off the tanks. Veggies and what type. That reminds me, Fish Tropic, thank you. I got to cut up some cucumbers and squash and throw them into the tanks and add some green beans. Chat is open. Yes, it is. Let me put timestamps on this so people can see. Toggle timestamps. So let's do this. Sorry for the shakiness and stuff. Let me flip the camera around. I guess I'll start with the bedroom tank. Let's do that. Don't mind the mess. That's gonna get cleaned up this weekend. Who uses pumpkins? Okay, there's Miss Molly doing her thing. Don't mind the mess in the corner. My apartment, you gotta make a mess in order to clean a mess sometimes. So here's the 75. Get down, Molly. Come on, down. I like to sit on my son's bed while I do this because then I'm more stable. So here is the 75 gallon. It's a little messy right now. I did do a water change to this earlier this afternoon. I'm gonna ship you some Val. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd put some in this tank. So let's see. Let me go over the tank mates that are, or what I have in this tank. I got the convict cichlids in here. They're trying to breed like crazy. Got the super reds, you know, males and females in here. I have seen some breeding action in that little clay pot right there. Usually, you know, usually the male's protecting some eggs in there. I did see those last week or earlier in the week. Got the yo-yo loaches in here. Got some rainbows. I got some Bosemani and Australian rainbows in here. Got the glowfish right here, the glowfish tetras. Got the rasboras in here. Then I got some of the fancy guppies that are kind of mixed. They were actually going to be like feeders from that mom and pop store that are growing out. They're all males. I think there's a couple females in here. Then I have the sunburst, 2 or 3 sunburst males in here, I think. Then I got the blue tuxedo and black tuxedos in here. So I picked up like 4 pairs or 4 pairs, but like with 3 each in there for male fancy guppies. So they are swimming in here. Maybe, oh, looks like I got a couple females in here. I'm gonna take them out so they don't start dropping fry in this tank. But that's not what the tank's for. There is the huge pleco, probably hyphen, that my parents gave me or had me take right by the heater. Sorry if I'm shaking. Here's one of the little super red fry, or one of the first ones from the male and female that were breeding in the 18-gallon tote. Bring us in. You want me to zoom in? Sorry, but the quality is going to get a little crappy if I just zoom in too close. So there's the Australian rainbows. Obviously, everyone knows what a convict looks like. These guys think they're going to get in here. Here is the blue tuxedo, one of the males out of the 3 that I did pick up. There's one of the females that were in here from that feeder guppies that I got for like 20 cents or 30 cents at the mom and pop store. Then I got these. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes the camera does that when it's under the LED lights. There's the Bosemani, one of the Bosemani rainbows. Those guys were a lot smaller. They have put on size since they've been in here for a couple weeks. So the glowfish are the ones for my parents. Why do I have guppies in here? I was honestly, Jason, I use this as kind of my catch-all tank. I didn't want to put the male guppies in with all the females. I wanted the males to just be in here, QTing, so I quarantined this whole tank. You know, the ICX, General Cure Erythromycin, and levamisole, but I'm out of levamisole just to be safe. I know the convicts could possibly nip at the guppies and wipe them out real quick. Plus the angel could wipe them out, but I haven't really seen any aggression from the angel. In that, if the angel has any aggression, it's towards the convict cichlids. And the rainbows move quick enough that they stay out. There's one of the sunburst male guppies right there with the orange tail. I can't remember what it exactly is. I have it on the Petco slip. Now this is one of the feeder fancy guppies. There's these yellow ones. I got 3 of those. Can't remember what they're called. Maybe those are cobras or deltas. I can't remember. I gotta find the receipt. And then I got 2 of these like purplish pink glowfish from my parents. Then I have 2 eclipse catfish in here to help clean up the bottom when the yo-yos aren't doing it. Which, there's one of the yo-yos chilling. Let's see who's in here. I breed blacks and reds. Let's see, Slower Subby, keep up the good work, Cap. Always happy to see you live stream. Big Easy, welcome. Let me know if the mic's too loud because it's like not too far below my mouth. I'm just using my little Boya mic, so it sounds better than cell phone mic. So I mean, this is kind of a big community tank minus the convicts and the angels. For the most part, everyone gets along. As you can see, there's breeding behavior by the convicts, so they're trying to square off and take, you know, they have corners dug out, other little places behind this Mopani or Manzanite wood or whatever it is, I can't remember. It's one of the heavier woods that like sank right away. It had this Nana Petite actually right in there, in that hole right there, to grow off of it, but it ended up popping out due to the fish. I already talked about that. I think that's a high fin, but it might be a common plecker right there. That one's my parents. Sorry for the dirty glass. Obviously, like I said, I did a water change, so this front viewing port's pretty bad. So there's some of the new guppies, fancy guppy males. What's up, Jamie McDonald? Hey, Brian. Hello, everyone. Happy holidays to y'all. Yep, same to you, Jamie. So these are the blue tuxedos that I got. I think I got 2 or 3 males. Actually, I might only have 2 of those blues. I think they only had 2 at PetSmart. Then there's probably 3 or 4 chocolate or 5 chocolate bushy nose plecos in here. 1 albino chocolate bushy nose. And the rest are super reds for plecos in this tank. As you can see, I like plecos of different types. I will move these convicts out. I just want to make sure they're at least this size of this guy. He's about 3 inches in length. I don't think the big mama Oscar can mess with that convict. It might be just a little too big. So these other small ones, I just got to wait till they finish growing out. There's a better look at the little super red pleco that used to be a baby. That pleco is about maybe 6 months old, maybe 7, the one down on the bottom. I believe it's a female. Just from how streamlined it is, it doesn't quite have the fat head like the male super red bushy nose. There's the male right there that usually occupies that, or maybe the female's in there right now with the male. Steve Foy, welcome. Long time no see. So as you can see, I mean, I keep replanting this. Actually, that was an old plant. So I keep putting this onto that log, but with all the fish that are in here and the angel and other ones, they keep knocking them back. And sorry for all the debris in the water. That's this, what do you want to call it? Duckweed that's been getting battered due to how much flows in here. So I'm probably just gonna scoop the rest of the duckweed out of here. I got some Naha grass. I'm gonna move some Java fern in here. And then I got Christmas moss and flame moss in here. It's kind of gotten pushed around. That little clump, sorry for that, it's zooming in on the wrong thing. That little clump behind with the Naha grass, where it does look like some moss, I believe that's the Christmas moss that's tangled with the Naha grass. And then I got some like little foreground plants, little micro swords, I think those were. I got like 6 of those for not even like $2. They kind of just got scooped up when I got some of the fish from the mom and pop store. I did try planting that, but with the convict sticking and the yo-yo loaches always sifting through the planted substrate, they just keep digging them up. That's why this sword right here was actually planted, but you can see how much it's sticking out of the soil right now. And I mean, there's got to be at least a 2.5 inch base here. So I'm just leaving that because those roots will eventually pull that down, or I'll just replant it. I have more wood. I'm going to take some of the other wood out of my 75 and put it in here for plecos, give them some more natural caves, even some room for the catfish. You can't see it, but one of the catfish are hanging out right near one of the chocolate plecos right there. Let me see if I can't zoom in more. Steve Foy says, I saw you last night. Yep. It was one of the Bosemani, looking pretty sharp, even though he's only probably 3 or 4 inches long total, if that. Still kind of small, juvenile, compared to the Australian rainbows. So they have quite a bit to go. Oh, there's a female right there. There's a big female super red. And then you can see the tail from the Eclipse catfish right near that middle beam where the sponge filter is. They like to kind of hide right there, one on each post near the plecos. There's one of the chocolate, or maybe chocolate plecos. Hello again. Let me zoom out so it's not so shaky. The fish loft, sound cracking on you, Cap. Oh, it's cracking? I'm sorry. Let me know if it keeps getting bad. Maybe, let me see. That's why, probably because the cord's dragging on the floor and picking up the static electricity. Let me know if that gets any better. I can move the mic a little bit on my shirt too. Give me a sec. Where did I put this? Here, I'm gonna just use my tripod that I fixed one of my last live streams before I did it. So maybe I'll just put you guys on the tripod just to be done. Sorry for the fingers and the shakiness, the motion sickness I'm probably giving you guys right now. All right, there we go. Now I'm on the tripod. Good, just was jerky. Oh, okay. It's good, it's better now. And this thing has a 10-foot cord on this Boya thing. Sorry, I gotta work, catch this later. Cheers. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate you coming in, saying hi. Nick the Dick says, howdy y'all. So now that I'm on the tripod, let me just loosen this up. I can get a little bit better pictures. I mean, it'll be a little bit smoother as long as I've loosened this enough. I mean, this tank was sleeping at one point, so yeah. There's the koi angelfish, pretty big. I've had him probably getting close to getting real close to probably a year now. I had 3 of those because I bought them as a 3 or 4 actually, but he's the only one that survived. I don't know what happened with the tank. They were getting beat up, and then there was no other fish in the tank. So I don't know if that was just the dominant one and it just killed the rest. Sup, Nick? Broke one of my lights today. Gotta wait till Friday to get a new one. Next Friday, not tomorrow. Fish Tropic says Nick. The Fish Loft says Tropic. Nick the Dick says my bet's been out all day. Yep, I hear you. Sorry for the glare. Here, let me do this. That thing's way too tight still. Nets. Oh, my nets. Been out all day. Yep. I mean, there's just a combination of fish in this tank. Oh, nets. Oh, okay. Internet's been out all day. Now, to me, you probably can't see, but by my eyes, that looks like a female super red right there. Big fat. But maybe someone else that has a little bit more experience than me could tell me. Usually a little bit more streamlined. But if that's a pregnant female or a breeding female, you know, she's fine, because I know the females do get bristles, but not as big as the males. If you can get closer, I can. The pork chops are all right. I don't mind them. Believe it or not, I've had those guys. They were in a tank with a filter that would keep clogging up every so often, even with the pre-filter on it. And they did fine with temperatures, not really many temperature swings, but they were probably at 75, almost 80 degrees half the time, because they were in the corner and the heat was right near them. That one rainbow loves the camera, I guess. So, New England, I taped the black trash bag to the back of that tank. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it when I put that tank up, so I may, when I drain it, like this tank, like when I do my next big water change to this, I may drain it like 75%, just enough so I can move the tank easier, just to get something behind it. Maybe I'll put like, see if I can't get a big sheet of black construction paper or something like that, to do that. So let me zoom out. Sorry about that, guys. Not trying to be twitchy with the camera. I'm cheap. So am I. I try to be as cheap as I can. I like the two Bozemantis I got. There were the only two left in the PetSmart tank, so I might pick up like 2 more just to be safe, because I like their coloring. I mean, the Australian ones don't have some bad color either. What I want to do is get a small endoscopic camera that's waterproof and send it into that little hut to see what eggs are in there. Clean the glass, says Tropic. All right, buddy. I guess I can do that. Give me 1 second. Don't mind the mic. Right here. This is all from Molly, most of it. I mean, some of it's from the water change I did earlier that I thought I wiped it down good enough, but I didn't. But Molly has since pounded this tank after I cleaned it, so that's probably where all the water marks and nose marks and all that came from. There we go. And all that debris is this dead and dying or past duckweed. So once I get that cleared up, once the rest of the duckweed gets dispersed and broken down, I'll finish off the last of it. The duckweed was only in this tank to keep the all the levels down of the nitrites, nitrates, any ammonia that might be spiking. But now that the Naha grass is a little bit more established, probably this. It just turned the tank HD, yeah, right? Believe me, I don't like how all this stuff's draining the water, so maybe I might do a DIY polish, something to polish with filter floss and put it in on like a power head or whatever, with a little cut off the base of like a Poland Spring bottle, one of the 500 ml ones, poke holes in it, you know what I'm saying, just to clean it up. Heather, everyone saying hi. Heather at Scarlet Aquatics. Big Easy, everyone saying hi. So let's see, let me zoom out, make sure I'm zoomed out. Yep, I am. What's floating in the water? Dead duckweed. That's what I'm chalking it up to. I did do a water change, so I stirred up the tank. I didn't do a gravel vac and afraid that there was wigglers, because I've seen wigglers in here for the convicts. And I was afraid that if any of the, there was any small, tiny super reds, if they were outside that hut or somewhere else, I didn't want to take the chance of sucking them up. I know I could have used filter floss, but the super reds are like super tiny when they're born. So sorry, I'm just moving my tripod, guys, and this is still a little too tight, so I can't move it around too easy. So that's that tank. I know it's a weird angle right now, but figure give you a different shot of the action. All the glare. You can see the bed with how clean the glass is now. So let's see. Do you guys think, anyone that's kept more angelfish than I have, if I was to get one half this size for koi angelfish, or like 3/4 of the size of that angelfish right there, that it won't get too beat up on from this big angelfish? I don't know. I know you try to get the right sizes, but to find this size, I'd have to special order it, and it probably cost me 25 bucks. I'm just thinking getting like 2-inch, 3-inch. I mean, the body on this guy's got to be 4 inches, 5 inches. That's the body. So, how was yours? Get anything good? Yeah, I hope everyone had a great Christmas. Yeah, I had a great Christmas. It was fun to see my son open all his presents again this year, especially when he got like 27 presents for Christmas. My grandmother, his grandmother spoils him to no end. Yes, I know I got fancy guppies in with convicts. There's one of the dark blue tuxedos. Of course, blue's my favorite color, so I'm probably going to breed those guys. Molly, stop it. I just cleaned this glass. If you can't see, Molly's doing her thing. Don't mind the mess. But she literally can crawl over and put her nose on, and she just, after I just cleaned it, got a new nose print right there. That's what I typically deal with Molly. All right, let me take you guys off this tripod. I just don't like that spring. I'm gonna put the old one back on. So, select pet. My bet is he'll kill any other angel you put into it. Yeah, I'm gonna try and find angels about that size, 3 or 4 or 5 inch size. I mean, that's a pretty big angel. I mean, it's not quite the size of my palm, but it's just about, I'd say, half the size of it. Maybe 3/4. So there's one of the babies from the spawn, like I was saying, super reds, because they were tiny. They were only like half an inch, but then I didn't check on them for another few months, and this guy's been in here for about a month now, so he's probably put on another ½ inch, maybe a little bit more. Where did I get what cave from? These caves? I just got those from my aquarium box, the coconut huts, but that came from my aquarium box too. I have like 2 or 3 of these. I just have those in other tanks with the rubber lips and stuff like that. There's the male. There he is. The female's in there too, so I'm sure they're breeding in there. I just got to try and get in there and see if there's any eggs. Because that male, I have seen him blocking the entrance, so nothing can swim in there. So there we go. There's some of the new fancy guppies. That looks like a cobra or snake skin or whatever. Beautiful looking guppy, sorry. I'm freehanding this, so if it's a little bit more bouncy, this is why I want to get like a little portable gyro. That way, handheld gimbal or whatever, so I can do this without being my hand shaking. Nice cave. That male is awesome. Yeah, I got quite a few males actually. I want to say I'm pretty sure that one right there is a female. That one that's growing out has been growing out for the last few months. I know they grow very slowly, but this is one of the original super reds I got, females. No, I noticed with the females, if I'm correct, they got more of the slender nose, not that many bristles compared to this male that you can see right there, and all those bristles. So to what I can tell, those look like 2 females. Then there's another female right there. Might be a little early to sex that one. That's another one of the small babies. I just know with super reds, as far as I know, they don't get really big spawns initially. So I think I might have only gotten 2 or 3 super reds out of that first spawn in that tote. And then you can see the eclipse catfish wiggling around there right at the bottom. So there's one on each of those sponge filters, or hiding, because there's really no caves for them. And the caves are currently occupied between the convicts and the super reds, so they're not going to let it get in there. That little convict's thinking about going in there. Yep, the male did what it's going to do. So here's one of the ones that were a higher end guppy that was in the like the cull tank or whatever feeders. Got some nice color. That definitely isn't one of the blue tuxedos. But those guys, when I got those fancy guppies, they were like barely a ½ inch in length. So high quality too. Really high quality for some of them. I'm just trying to find the one I really like. There's one of the sunburst ones. I can't remember what sunburst something, but if you can see in the back, hold on, let me see if where it's more neon. That little guy, that guppy, was part of that cull tank or whatever, or the feeders. I'm sorry, the camera is definitely not focusing. There we go. You'd have to see it. The colors on him is like he's like a 3 or 4 color type guppy. I'm almost wondering if that isn't a little Endler, but the tail tells me no. So, but if anyone has any clue, let me know. Then you got these pork chops. I think these rasbours their nickname is pork chop, but it's something else. So And there's the other clips. Sorry, it's kind of blurry because I'm right up against the glass. There's the other clips. Catfish, chilling. Then you got the albino chocolate pleco right there hanging out. And then the big fat pleco that I believe is either a high fin or a common. I'm pretty sure it's one of the two. So I got a lot of plecos in here. Here's the 3 yogelos. I got these guys when they were like half the size, if not a third of the size they are now, smaller. These guys will assassinate any snails that come on, any plants that I bring into this tank within a matter of minutes or seconds in some case if they see them fall. All right. I think that's enough for this tank unless you guys want me to hang around. This is my favorite tank because there's so much action going on it right now. The other tanks, I've had them for a while, so there's not much new for me to see. And those are the 20-gallon sponge filters. Each of those are. So that's 40, plus I got the Aqua Clear 70 going. Plus all the substrate and all that, all the beneficial bacteria on there. So I'm pretty sure this tank's pretty well set. Looks like I got to clean the damn pre-filter, the DIY pre-filter that I did. Again, because the Aqua Clear is not running as efficiently as I want it to. I might just take the damn pre-filter off, and if it chops up duckweed, it chops up duckweed. So, all right. So these other tanks. All right, these are this kind of snail growing out tanks. This is my 18-gallon tote. Clean this power head. It says to keep sliding down because I can't get a suction on this Rubbermaid container. You're not going to see much in there. There's this fancy guppies and rubber lip plecos that are breeding, which I'll eventually clear out that 18-gallon tote because I want to be able to see the rubber lips. Kind of the same thing with this. This used to be the old tote where the super reds were breeding in. I need to top this one off. This is snail breeding tank and fancy guppy tank. Yeah, it looks like an Endler guppy cross. It wouldn't surprise me because it was in like a 125-gallon tank, and some of them broke out of the other tanks because they had dividers, and some of them swam into the others, and they were so small for fry. It's like the females dropped fry. So they just put them in the 125 or whatever once they caught them because they couldn't, pick out what colorings they were. All right, so let's see. I don't show this tank because it's kind of out of... Select Bet says, hi, Crystal Shack. A lot of thanks for your help before. So let's see. This tank hasn't changed all that much. I got to get that high fin pleco. That guy's a pain in the butt to get out of there. What's up, Mason Fish? Hey, guys, he says. Got some one big lab left out of like the 6 that were in here. This Venustus and this Texas Cichlid wiped them out. I got to get in here and change this tank. Move all these fish out of here. This Venustus is almost the same size as this Texas. What's up, Mason Fish? And Molly sees the high fin since I pointed it out. That a big electric can get that off. Yeah. Nick the Dick. Which one? Which electric? This one right here? You can't have them. That's a fully grown electric. I have another electric in here, but no, that's the electric. I can't remember what one that is. There's another blue, maybe a Johanny. That might be the Johanny or this one. Stop, Molly. I know this tank's kind of bland. Needs more shrimp. I do have a ton of shrimp, to be honest with you. Don't mind this big filter floss. I got to get out of here. But shrimp are breeding in it right now. That's why it has not moved. There's not super, why do I keep saying super? There's cherry red shrimp in here. There's a couple blue velvet babies in here that moved over with the other Naha grass I did. But there's a lot of red cherry shrimp and snowball shrimp in here. I mean, it's kind of a bland tank, but it's okay. I wanted to get something in there besides the snails. I mean, there's one big mystery snail that I'm probably going to feed to my puffer tomorrow. Haha, filter floss reminds me of a fluffy bunny. Where did you get the snowballs? I got them from Jeremy or Sergeant Tanks. All right, so that tank's done. This Venustus, like I said, is like the size of the Texas. I got to get in here anyways because my fluval, move Molly, get up. Right here, somehow either when I was cleaning or whatever, the fluval came out of the water and didn't auto shut off like it was supposed to. I got the remnants out there, but the glass is still in here. This has been buried in sand at this point. I totally forgot that it was in there. I thought I cleaned it all out. I got a new heater in here. A little cool. Put the cichlids with the Oscar. Well, this Texas was beating up the Oscars. Remember a while ago, Jason? That Texas cichlid was picking on the female Oscar right there. So I don't know why these old guys almost look like they need air, but I have plenty of circulation. The fluval's moving around. Maybe I gotta cut maybe that 125 sponge filter isn't got enough air going to it. Let me turn it up. There we go. Yeah, I probably got to clean that. There. Give me a second. I'm just going to put you guys down. Oh, look at them all. These fat pigs. Molly. I'm pretty sure it's Molly that wiped out that filter because I was vacuuming and cleaning up. This place looks like a bomb went off in it because I cleaned the kitchen to get that cleaned and I'm just moving room to room. But look at all that Java moss. This ball over here, I know it's kind of hard to see. It's kind of dark over here. But that is, when I put that in, it's a 1x1 cube. It's just spread out. You know, you got your Mopani driftwood and all that. I got some other driftwood that I got from the lakes. I got to clean all that stuff. He was probably mating with her, laugh out loud, or trying to probably, but she was too small. So there's one of the green severums. Then you got the scarlet goldfish. These three are gold severum. And then you got the two other Oscars, tiger Oscars. I'm hoping one of them are a male. These two have been hanging out, so I don't know if they're paired. You know what I mean? They stick with each other. Big Mama doesn't really beat on them unless they're fighting over the food at the top of the water. And as you guys can see, this tank has a lot of tannins. I've been tempted to put like the black coating or whatever, you know how you can spread it out, almost like a black tin on the back of the tank so you don't see all the wood. And she got whacked from one of the other Texas. Actually, that's part of when she fell out, when she jumped out of the tank on me at about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. That's why I have this, because I gotta get some tops. I gotta make some DIY tops for myself. So I'm gonna get some of the plastic sheeting that Corey's used and other people have used, like Greg Jones. Big fish, oh yeah. Definitely like 2 or 3, probably almost 3 fingers wide now. But she's gotta be pushing 12, anyways, right around 12 inches. Because they usually grow, what, to about 12 inches within their first year, give or take, food. Then I got this guy, Jack Dempsey right there. I thought it was a convict, but no, it was Jack Dempsey. There was another Jack Dempsey in here, but that Jack Dempsey just beat the heck out of the other one, so probably 2 males. So what was that? How old is she? I got this Texas when I put this 125 up after her. So this big girl is probably, I want to say, probably going almost on 3 years old, because I got it when it was only like 3 inches, maybe 4 inches long at most. You know how they come in. I don't really consider their fins. I look at their body. So it was probably only, the body was only like 3 inches, you know, like a $6 Oscar is when I got her. And she had a mate, but I went away and I had the sump pump going. The sump pump lost its water. This evaporated because I was gone for a week, 2 weeks. And just everything dropped and we had a huge power outage for like 3 days. So that Oscar is one of the only one of 3 or 4 remaining fish that made it due to the power loss. So when I had the power loss hit, it stopped my sump. You know what I mean? Because I have that, and the sump never, you know, the power came back on, the pump turned back on, but the water had dropped so low that it couldn't, the overflow stopped working. You know what I mean? It was one of those kind of gigs. Kind of hard to explain. I wish I had set up my camera like a 24-hour live stream or something where I could watch the tanks, but unfortunately I lost that. It happens. And then I get the shabunkin right there. I know a lot of people comment, why do you have goldfish with Oscars and other cichlids? But they've been in this tank forever. They're going on a year anyways. This one's my oldest one right here. No, where's the other one? It's all good. Fish Tropic, the Oscars have jumped in my fish. This big mama was in this and then hopped out of this. I found her right here by this rock. I know it's kind of messy here. It was a lot cleaner, but I found her by the rock right here on the floor, so I had to rinse her off, and I kind of had to give her a cold bath in the snail tank to get all the hair off of her, because Molly sheds like there's no tomorrow, so I got to vacuum like once or twice a week to keep the hair down. Hence why she has the dent in the head and kind of bruised up. I mean, she's almost completely healed up, but you can see that mark right on her forehead. This is the one that bit me right there. It's still got a red mark on it. You probably can't see it because it's getting bled out, but I still got the red mark from where she almost broke the skin. Normally she won't go after my finger, but the other Oscars will. So overall, this tank's doing pretty good. I think I'm going to drain this water and set up something. I think I'm going to drill this tank, or attempt to. But that's going to be for future projects. I want to get the sump going back on it, because this sump, when it was running, this water, it looks crystal clear from the top. The front, not so much, because I haven't cleaned the algae off the glass. Yeah, so that's kind of this tank. I want to do more. This is the one I want to get the jungle valve for right here. There is a sand base to this. Not much, probably 50 pounds, and a 125 is not a lot of sand. I have 2 more bags. I got about another 75 pounds of sand. So I was going to do like a sand plant mix, like of equal complete, and then put some jungle valve in here if I can find any. I just can't find any right now. And I got a text. I'll mark this red. Come on. There. I gotta clean up some of these tanks. Then this is my kind of my green algae tank with snails in it. Hair algae. I think it's cool. I want to get a heater in here. I gotta clean this up, but I want to move some shrimp, this straight up shrimp in here, because they'll breed like crazy in this tank. I mean, you can see the crushed coral in here. This tank, like I said, I haven't gotten to it, but all these hang-on backs are coming off because I got the Aqua Neat sponges right there. And these are all gonna have sponge filters off of this bad boy. This is gonna power the whole apartment with air. I mean, I'm probably gonna actually have to have one of the lines cracked open on this 6-way valve, because this thing puts out 950 gallons per hour worth of air. So, and then these 2 tanks don't just have heaters running, but they're over enough. They're heavily planted, especially this one. They're not planted. I mean, this ton of plants. These both have been running without filters for about 4 or 5 months at least. I just check the water parameters once or twice weekly, just to make sure there's no spikes. Obviously, I have guppies. I actually have cherry red shrimp, blue velvets in there, and snowball shrimp too. So they seem to be happy. But you know how it goes. People said sometimes they don't do water changes or, you know, change anything. You know, don't do any cleaning besides cleaning like the glass in the front, like the viewing side. So, yeah. Ultimately, like what I would like to do with this tank, I want to take this 55 completely down, and I want to set up a stock tank. To get these guys out of here, I'd move all the substrate, and I'd probably put the water in the stock tank. And I want to put a stock tank right here where this chair is. And that way, that clears up this bottom shelf, because that'll give me the ability to set up the 10 gallons or 20 longs, whatever I'm going to do here, or 2.5 gallons or 5-gallon tanks, whatever I can do for like the breeding program that I want to do with the fancy guppies. But these guys have to go, and I don't want to put these African cichlids in with these cichlids, just because the water parameters are way different. This is sitting at I think 7.9, 7.8, maybe even 8.0. I haven't tested the pH. Select pet, I got tied up paying attention to the stream and almost overflowed my 75. I've been there, done that. You should ask Jason. I think one stream I overflowed this tank like 3 times during the stream because I was filling it up and cleaning, doing gravel vac. So I was doing live water changes while I was doing a live stream. I overflowed the sump. I overflowed this tank. It was this 5 or 6 times in one stream. You'd think I would have learned. So you guys think I should drill this tank? I was thinking, because I've seen those e-shops overflows where they just hang on the back overflows. I'm thinking of running one of those because it'll be more of a proper overflow to feed that 1,390 gallon per hour pump. Mason Fish, he better not overflow that tank, flood his basement. Nick the Dick says, I keep my cichlids tank slightly higher alkalinity, 8.1, 8.2. I believe low end you can be 7.7, 7.8 for Malawi cichlids, which all these guys are Malawi African cichlids, so they can have a lower pH. But they like, I believe, somewhere between 7.8 and like 8.2. And then if it was like Tanganyika or one of those other ones, Victoria, you need a higher pH, like 8.4, 8.6 type of a thing. And believe it or not, I've kept African cichlids, labs and stuff down to a pH of 7.4, 7.2 in that range with no losses. Is that a sea monkey tank? What do you mean? Reduce fish you don't need and start breeding stuff. You have super reds, those are hot fish. You live in the States, shipping is easy for you, man. Is that a sea monkey tank? What do you mean sea monkey tank? You talking the one right there? Sorry, like I said, my shelves are messy. I had a great subscriber that donated these shelves to me. That blue thing on the rack? No, that was an old beta tank. That used to be my wife's. And I claimed that when she kept killing beta fish and just let it collect dust. And I'm like, can I have this? She's like, yeah, I was gonna throw it out, so I took it. I'm actually gonna donate that to work when I clean it up, because there's a beta at work that's in literally like maybe a quarter gallon, third of a gallon tank, and that's at least one and a quarter, 1.5 gallon tank right there. I just got to find the all the pieces because that had an under gravel water filter, and then I might just donate this little 10 watt heater, 15 watt heater right here to the place for the beta, and then the under gravel filter should be fine for that. But of course, I could just tell work, you know, I'm gonna go to Walmart, you're gonna get me petty cash, I'm gonna go to PetSmart, pick up a small little air pump for you with a small little sponge filter, because I know betas don't like a lot of water movement. But yeah, I'm thinking of doing sea monkeys, mason fish, brine shrimp, yep. Well, there's one of the darker cherry reds. Sorry, this tank definitely has some, looks, from here, it looks darker red than it is on the camera. And there's another one. Looks like a female. Then you got the mystery snails. All right, I went over these tanks. I guess the last tank I can show you will be the 20 long in the kitchen. Don't mind these heaters. I bought some heaters from China because I got a good deal. You guys have probably seen my Eheim Jaeger 150 watt review. Brine shrimp are great. Yeah, I got to start hatching them again too, Jason, so I can feed the fancy gut fry and my Fahaka puffer. It probably won't even go after the brine shrimp, to be honest with you. It's too big probably at this point to waste its time and energy with it. And this is just used to be the tank with the rainbows in it. Now it's this fancy guppies and a little bit of shrimp that got transferred over. I'm not going to waste my time turning that light on. Like I said, my apartment kind of is just torn apart right now, but it will be done. Here's another aquaponics tank. This is a house plant that has absolutely taken over. There is like a pretty big, what is this called? I can't remember. One of those, but it's a Nana Petite in there. Plus there's Java moss, Java fern under there. Now I moved this out to try to clean up. I'm gonna remove this plant completely because I want to get that tank up and running because it's like a 2.5 gallon aquaponics tank. I want to get some shrimp in there. It's just been sitting empty, maybe some snails. I mean, you guys can see, but this is this overhanging. It's kind of dirty because it's been sitting for so long. I haven't had to do water changes. I just top it off of the plant. But that's kind of nasty. Brine shrimp are great. I'll just hatch some. Anubias, thank you. I like brine and microrooms. Kill a combo. Tip feed your brine spirulina 2 hours before you feed them. I have spirulina from a pretty big company. So obviously I got to top this water back off. This is a 40 gallon sponge filter. Plus this, I want to say it's an Aqua Clear or a Marine Land. Hang on back. I gotta clean the filter floss right there because it's looking kind of nasty, but yeah. And then this is a Tiger Lotus, which I'm probably gonna move into the 75 once it gets a little bit more height. Let's see. I gotta fish that out because that's what I use to. I have 2 or 3 of these where I put the veggies on it for the plecos. So I got a super red pleco right there. There's a male and female. I think there's actually 1 male, 2 females in this tank. Then you got the puppet cory cat in here. And usually, I don't know if you can see with the glare, but right there in between the sponge is the Fahaka puffer chilling. He likes to sit under that sponge. The lobster keeps moving this. It used to be right here, but it's ended up here. So I got to move this out of the way. Otherwise, the Fahaka puffer has a hole it dug itself. So they like to ambush their prey, obviously, and he dug under the sand. I moved all the gravel out of this corner so it could hunt there. I feed the Fahaka fresh supply of mystery snails each day. Brine shrimp, or this tank gets brine shrimp at least a couple times a week. I just got to make a new batch, so they might not get brine shrimp till this later this weekend, like Sunday. I feed bloodworms, I feed mysis, and other things for this tank. And then if anyone needs any fancy guppies, let me know, because I want to get rid of a lot of these assorteds just to get them out of here so I can start the breeding. More of the peppered cory cats are in this tank, chilling out in these pleco caves, which I'll probably move these pleco caves into the 75 gallon to give them some more space, except for that one because that's where the blue lobster is. Where are you at? I'm in upstate New York in the US. Mason's Fish. I can give you assorted guppies. I would obviously a lot of my females are pregnant with multiples because I leave the males when the females in this tank, and they're this breed. That's a kind of cool looking one right there. Smaller. But I'd definitely be willing to send some your way if you paid shipping or something like that. Yeah, so that's that tank. I want to see if I can't get a good look at. This guy always hides when I come near the tank, so this is one of the blue lobster I think Jeremy sent me. And it's self-cloning, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. I've seen little lobsters around. There's ghost shrimp in this tank that the Fahaka will go after. But that's the lobster right there. I might actually have to get him a bigger home. I have some, what is it? The plastic PVC rain gutter. I might just throw that in with an end cap. That way that thing has like 5 times the space it'll just take up from here to there. I'm going to take that out when I pull these other plecos out of this tank. So there's a lot of plans for different things. It's just having the time and patience to get everything done day by day. Looks like some more super reds are there. There you can see, I want to call them butterbean. I'm in Kentucky, yeah. Hey y'all, I gotta send VBU first. I gotta send them one of the smaller super reds, or a couple of the smaller super reds. Just because I owe him for the pearlweed, which he did send me a bunch of pearlweed. I don't know what's left of it. I know it's in here, but there's some pearlweed. I gotta plant it. I planted it in this tank, and the lobster keeps knocking it around in the Fahaka. There's one of the male super reds that always, there is babies in there. I know that. How much for 3 super reds, Cappy? I think 90 bucks would be a little bit much, but I mean, I would pay 90 bucks for the males and females that are like almost full grown. You know, they're breeding age. I'm not giving up breeders though. Let me spin this around because I'm going to sit down and plug my phone back in because the battery's starting to die on it. I would say, I don't know what the super reds are going for, but they're captive bred, 30 a piece. You think so? I don't know if that's what you think a good going rate is. I don't know. But they would be probably non-sexed super reds that I'd be sending, and I can't guarantee. And I mean, I don't want to give up any breeding pairs of super reds that I have just because they're breeding for me, and I got to keep those in here in the house. Super red, yeah, they're actually, I'm pretty sure they're the long fin. Maybe not, they might just be the standards, but I thought I ordered long fins. 1.5 inch, 25 bucks. So those little ones, then I might only send VBU 1 of the small ones because that was the size I got those. You know, like 2 or 3 inches body length, or 1.5 to 2 is what it was listed at. I think they came into closer to 2, 2 1/4, and probably I'll consider that good because I did pay for the shipping for the pearlweed. So I'll probably send him 1. Maybe I'll send him some shrimp or something. He said he was good on plants, so maybe I'll send him 5 or 10 cherry red shrimp because I'm inundated with those and snowballs. I'll take any fish at 1.5 inches. All right, yeah, but you got to meet me on this side of the border. I don't have my improved license yet. It's a red bristlenose crystal. Yep, it's a super red bristlenose pleco. And I believe, I want to say it got the long fins, but I think I would have seen on the males and more the adults, late when I was early adults, long fins by now. Maybe it was the wrong one I selected when I did it. Anyways, I got super reds. I know the long fins are definitely worth way more money, so I don't know, 5 or 10 bucks probably extra. I get 3 I get the 3 12-point kill rent. What are you saying? Fish can, Nick the Dick says fish can go over the border, no problem, but you'll be paying tax to ship them. Yep. You'd notice if they were at a local fish store. I didn't get them from the local fish store. I got them from Aquabid. And the ones at the local fish store, for that size would easily be 20 bucks for the small ones, the smallest, the baby ones I have that are this like juveniles now. I know at least 20 bucks or $19.99, $20 or something. Not, you know, but yeah. But I definitely going to be interested in sending that, send some of those out. 2-inch or 30. Oh, wow. Okay. I'll have to look at Aquabid. That way I can get Aquabid in the other place that someone told me about for selling fish. Just to get average. I'll do like an average of them. Nick the Dick says, I found my output cord from my phone, for my headphones. Long fin are 40. Okay. I don't think I have the long fins. I want to get some long fins though. Sorry, the camera keeps... That's weird. Let me point this down. I don't know why it keeps like trying to auto adjust the well, the saturation. Let me know if that's okay, guys. I don't see it on my end, so it should be stopping now. Fish Tropic, my longfin green dragon's the same, if not more. Slack Pet says, Mason, fish, if you get those from like guppies from Cappy, be sure to film the unboxing. Fish Tropic says that depends on who's breeding them. I believe they were supposed to come in as long fins, but maybe they're still a little too young to have the long fins on them, you know what I mean? That might just grow out when they're like 1.5 to 2 years old. I don't know. I don't know the whole process of how long it takes for the long fins really to show up. Teresa Cookie says, no worries at Crystal Shack Aquatics. Sometimes the shops here label them under common plecos. Yeah, if I saw Super Reds labeled for common pleco prices, I'd be scooping them all up for pennies on the dollars. Nick, I want your big yellow cichlids. I only have one yellow cichlid right now, Nick. And I'm pretty sure it's a male. Because it got the three dots on the anal fin. If I remember correctly how you sex labs, they get the dots on the anal fin. So I like the Africans, but if someone wants them, I'm tempted to just get rid of them. I'd probably keep the Venustus though. You know, I just know the electric blue Johanny is at least a $30 or $40 or $50 fish at this point because it's like full grown now. Great stream. Yep, yes they do. Select Pet, I'd have a tank of common plecos if I saw a super red marked that way. Yeah, right. I'm inclined to start selling them. Wait till they start breeding more, man. This doing all thing, you know, all species tank. I mean, I don't know why it keeps auto focusing. Sorry, guys. Let me point this down more. See if I can't get that where it stops bleaching. Well, Teresa Cookie says, laugh out loud. I need some Super Reds. I'll send some your way when I get some more, Jason, but you know with the Super Reds, because I read up on them, their first spawn is usually small. You get only 2 or 3, and that's all I got out of the first spawn. And it says low battery. Why is it low battery when I got it plugged in? Give me a second, guys. Uh-oh, it's not charging. Why not? Give me a second. I'm going to turn this a little bit. Wiggle it, son. There it is. It's charging now. Now it's going to take like 20% to charge. Westworld, where are you from? Hello, I'm from, I'm originally from Massachusetts, but I'm currently living in upstate New York, outside the Lake Placid area, where the 1980 Olympics and I think 1960 Olympics happened. So let me see. If this camera keeps not keeping the white balance chill, I'm gonna cut this stream short and move and stream from my desktop because that seems to handle the different color lights. Or you know what? I'm gonna turn off the lights on that 10-gallon. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, New York, upstate New York. I'm literally, if I was to drive to Jason's, I think I'm only 5, 6, 8 hours for him. But I don't have my license to get in. Why is it saying low battery? Come on. Oh, it's charging. Who cares? See if that helps. I just don't want to make it too dark in here. I can shut this light off. This LED is like almost 4,000 looms there. Maybe that'll help darken it up where it's not trying to autofocus the whole time. There we go. Is that a little bit better, guy? Because I'm just watching the stream and yeah. You can ship to Kentucky, right? Yeah. My big thing is if I'm going to ship right now, I want to make sure the temperature's okay. Today, the high was like 8 or 10, and it's right now it's like 0 or -3 out. So that accent, yeah, it's a Massachusetts accent. Plus, I probably still have a little bit of my North Carolina accent when I was there. I was picking up the country slang and all that when I was stationed in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, in Jacksonville. You need a nice rack for your corner. Yeah, that's what I was going to do. That's what I was talking about, Jason, in the earlier live stream. I was going to price the 2x12s, and I have the perfect boards to do 40 breeders. It's 36 inches long, over 18 inches wide. It's 2 feet wide, and I have 4 or 5 shelves like that are out of oak plywood. It's really old plywood, or it might be pine, but it's like 1-inch plywood. Really heavy duty plywood that's stained. It really looks nice because someone built in a cabinet outside where the laundry room is outside my apartment. There was a pre-built cabinet someone did like by hand. Really nice work. So I got all the shelves from it. So maybe I won't pick up the 2x12s. Maybe I'll just set it right on there, and then I'll pick up the 2x12s and then set the plywood on top of the 2x12s to balance the load more. But I was gonna pick up probably 16 or 20 cinder blocks. I think they're $2 or $3 a piece. It all depends. Probably 20 and see where that gets me. And I'm gonna do like 3 or 4 high, which I think each cinder block's like 8 or 9 inches tall. So that'll give me like 27 inches or so of space. And I know, what is it? 40 breeder is what, 18 or 20 inches tall or something like that. So I figure if I got 2 feet of clearance total, that'll give me enough room to stick my arm in there and clean them. Let's see. Hey, Pam. 54 Punchy is in here. Hey, Fishy Internet people. Dan Slee. Hey, Pam. Mason Fish. Wes, you should join the Central Kentucky Fish Group. That'd be cool. Everyone's saying hi to 54 Punchy. Select Pet says hi, Wes. P's World. That makes at least 3 here from Bluegrass. Fish Tropic says you should start offering fish service where I live. Fish Tropic, I set up the Google page where people have joined. There's like I want to say at least 100, 150 members that have drawn there, and it's on Facebook for anyone that searches the marketplace and searches for like aquarium services or anything like that. Where in Lake Placid, there's a lot of mansions with people have saltwater tanks, huge freshwater tanks in their houses, and I'm trying to get my name out there because I mean I have the cleaning supplies here. I have to clean my own tanks. Let's see. Joel, let's see. Fish Tropic says, Cappy like to join fish bonded groups. Right. Hey, birthday girl. Fish Tropic says you also, you have fish also you can put in the tanks. Yep. West P's World. I'll look that up and see about joining. Heather Nielsen, Scarlet Aquatics says, hiya, Candy. Oh, Candy's in here? Hi, Candy. So, I know I've just been blah, blah, blah the whole time. Would you guys like me to start up a Google Hangout, start up a new live stream? That way I can have people come in, like earlier today. Like maybe Fish Tropic will join or some other people will join the stream. And we can just get a conversation on what's going on, what they're doing for projects, showing off tanks, stuff like that. Let me know. Candy might have to time you out. Candy, I thought I had you as a mod. Weird. Add mod. There, Candy's a mod again. Yes, Joel. Had to switch phones, dead battery. Allison Chains Aquatics, hello. How are you? Long time no see. Wow, am I the only one streaming right now? Because I'm up to 2021 watching. That's awesome. Hey Teresa, Fish Tropic says a good service plan is someone that can supply fish for your tank. Then you're laughing because fish you grow end up in other tanks you set up, and you don't have to worry about weird disease. Yeah, exactly. See, that's what I was thinking too. Was if they have freshwater tanks, I could do that. That's why I'm thinking I want to try to get into salt. That way I can bring stuff in. Know it's been quarantined right for salt, even though I don't really have any experience in salt besides brackish water when I kept my diamondback terrapins, because they like brackish water, less chance of them to get skin lesions and all that. So I got to figure that out, what it's going to cost me. I mean, I can set up I was thinking of setting up a 40 breeder as a saltwater tank. I know it's kind of small, but I figured the footprint's good. And, you know, start with some dry coral or stock coral, whatever you want to call it, dry coral. I don't know the names. And just have it be a coral-only tank with live sand. And then, you know, do DIY, like, you know, whatever I can do. Protein skimmer, all that. So let me scroll up here. Let's see. Select Pet says that's a good stream, Cap. I mean, all the important people are here, right? Mason Fish, I'll try and come back, but if not, good night, y'all. All right, take it easy, Mason Fish. Thank you for stopping in. Let me make sure I'm subbed to you, because you seem like a unique name that I haven't subbed to yet. I don't know if you have content, but it's all about helping them. Nope. I think I'm your first subscriber. Nope, second one. There. You're subbed. Select Pet says, later, Mason Fish. If you gotta go, join us more often. Good to see you. Crystal Stack Aquatics, laugh out loud at Select Pet. Everyone's saying good night, Mason. Fish Tropic says, Select. We're all important. Just some of us have our own opinions. We're kind of like the runaways of fish keepers here. Yep. Well, just like anything, I like to get back to my live streaming roots and doing the late night streams. And look at that. No more battery being affected. I'm already back to 15% instead of 8. Let's see. Bye, Mason. Night, Mason. Dan Slee says, rolling on the floor laughing. My bamboo shrimp just freaked out when a super red swam by. Haha, that's funny. Alright, guys. It's up to you. I can start up like a Google Hangouts or something. 54 Punchy. I thought you were already a subscriber of me, but thank you for resubbing. I know I've been a subscriber since probably a year or more. Whenever you started creating content, I think I was one of your first subscribers. But it's all good. Let's see. Bye, Mason. West Peas World. What is the site for Central Kentucky's fish group? Just search it on Google. I don't want to look through my bookmarks, but I have it because that's the one thing I was thinking about. There is no real upstate New York where I'm from club. They're all 5 or 6 hours away from me. New York City and then Syracuse. Like, if I'm going to go all the way out there, I might as well go up into Canada and say hi to Jason. Like, really. So, yeah, I have no idea what happened there. Fish Tropic says, Cappy, I counted 179 baby, 179 baby plecos today. Laugh out loud, I'm only 448 for my 1,000 goal in 6 months. That's awesome, man. I'd love to have that many super reds, right? Or even like just 100 of them. I'd be like, who needs super reds? Hit me up. Teresa Cookie, YouTube happened, laugh out loud. Candy Oversaul says, I get unsub to people sometimes too. Well, if you're not active on their channel, when the YouTube algorithm goes through every few days and cleans up, If you're past, I think, that 30-day of being inactive and you haven't viewed their videos, I think it will auto unsubscribes you. So, 54 Punchy says, yeah, YouTube does things like that sometime. Fish Tropic says 1,000 times $2. Do the math, right? Big Easy says, hi, you sweet cookie. 54 Punchy says, hey, Mark. Everyone's saying hi to Mark. Fish Tropic says, cookie, how are ya? Healing Instant said, hi, Mark. Everyone's saying hi, Mark. All right. Time to get me a beer. It's beer 30. I sub to and hit the notification bell. Yep, that's cool. I appreciate it. Thank you. What do you guys think? Should I start up a Google Hangout so I can see if I can get El Tropico and maybe Nick the Dick and some other people in here that's actually in the stream? Maybe Big Easy would like to come in and say hi. I don't know. Really? I'm down to 762, right? I thought I had 765 earlier today. That's weird. Okay. Whatever. I swear I gain 1 or 2 subs a day and then I lose like 5 or 6. It's a never-ending battle. But it's all good. The struggle is real. Hi, Health. Hi, Candy. 54 Punchy says YouTube's doing its thing. Fish Tropic says Team Green brought in viewers. Yep. I keep forgetting to post there, Jason. Thanks for reminding me. 54 Punchy says same here, up and down again. Fish Tropic says I'll share it on the Fish Tank Guide for Dummies. Thank you. I appreciate that. I like to just keep the stream going, you know what I mean? Instead of sharing and getting distracted. What? Wow, that's 19 watching and only 11 likes. Not that I'm asking for it, but I appreciate anything. Long Island Fish Guy. Hey, man, late night stream. Yep. On fire, right? Definitely. Welcome. Select Pet says, West Peas World, you can email me or message me on Instagram and I can give you the link to the group for Kentucky, but don't want to post the link here unless Cap. Go ahead, post the link. I don't care, Select Pet. You're a mod. You can post the link. I'm good with links as long as it's not people like advertising other channels without talking to me first. Smash the like button for you. Thank you. I'm only joking. Like, it is what it is. What I'd like to do, I don't know if I'm going to have the time, but at one point I was streaming 2 or 3 times a day. I'd do a late night stream, then I'd only sleep 2, 3, 4 hours, then do an early morning, 6 to 7 to like 6 to 10 a.m. and then I would do, or 10 to 12 or something, then get ready for work, then come home and do another late night stream. So they were like, sometimes when I was hurt, there was like 3 or 4 streams in a day. Or there was 2 streams and then 2 videos of content came out. Let's see. New England Endless says, I have a question for everyone. If you could buy only one type brand of fish, what food would it be? Type of brand fish food would it be? I like Omega 1, but Northfin's pretty big contender. I'd say Omega 1 and Northfin are side by side for me. 54 Punchy, 6 a.m. should be illegal, right? Long Island Fish Guy says, hey Punchy, Crystal Shack Aquatics. I haven't lost any subs yet, but I guess I haven't had them long enough yet to just scare them off. Haha. No, it's this when people become inactive. Like they join up, they think you're going to do sub for sub with them or something like that, and then they disappear and they never watch your content. I think they got 30 or 60 days. I can't remember what the rules when subs stop dropping off that are inactive. Hikari's good. I like Hikari. A little expensive, but I like Hikari. Fish Tropic says, I like real food, veggies and fruits and superfoods. Gotcha. Long Island Fish Guy says, Cobalt Aquatics has become one of my favorite fish foods. I had a really small sample bottle that I got from my aquarium box, but that only lasted me like a week with all the tanks I have, so yeah. Long Island Fish Guy says Hikari and Omega 1 too, yep. And I like Omega 1's frozen foods, like their bloodworms, They're mysis, they're brine shrimp. PetSmart sells some krill, so I've gotten krill from my fajaka, and I've crushed them up when they've, you know, melted a little bit or unfroze. I'll get the sheaths of the krill, which should last me like, you know, say be 100 servings or something like that, because I break the stuff up small. So I feed my stuff krill and stuff like that. But Priscila MKR is back in the house. Select Pet says, well, my phone is messing up on that link, but it was a Facebook call group, Bluegrass Fish Keeping Association. Fish Tropic says, I like cobalt veggie flake. You can also raise any fish off of that, on that stuff. That's cool. Priscilla says, peace, hey folks. Allison Shane says, tetracolor tropical granules for little fish, not a purist, laugh out loud. I like the tropical flakes. The granules are cool. I like the flakes because I can break them up with my fingers real quick. Dan Slee said, too many inverts to pick one. Fresh veggies, solid protein source, be the basic. Long Island Fish Guy says, preach savage. Wave and clapping his hands. Cool. I like to read the chat. Allison Chain says, hi Priscilla. Crystal Shack Aquatics says, oh, Wardley shrimp pellets. Everything goes nuts for those. Honestly, people were telling me to stick away from Wardleys, but in some cases, for African cichlids, based on the protein content and what's in here, it's not a bad mix. 30% protein. I went over this thing. Like, I got it for koi food, because I had koi originally. Before I got the Oscars, I was growing koi out, then I got the Oscars and put them in that tank because I knew they were going to grow big. And I'm only just down to a third of the bottle because I wasn't using it for the longest time. But this stuff's good. I fed this to my African cichlids. I just throw it in. I know it's too big for some of the cichlids in there. Like the venustas can eat a pellet whole. But I like to let it just float, and then it gets mushy and the other guys can eat it. So yeah. Teresa Cookie says, hey Priscilla. Long Island Fish Guy says, I just recently started using Omega 1. Frozen bloodworm fish goes nuts for it. Yes, I like the Omega 1. I get the big boxes of them. I don't think it's Omega 1 that PetSmart sells for the big boxes. Because Omega 1's kind of expensive on that. I get I want to say it's like the Fish Shack or something like that. Where it's like 100, 125, 150 servings of bloodworms. So I buy like the $17 or $18 of those, and that'll last me usually a couple months, depending on. I don't usually try to feed with that every day because I don't want any fish getting bloated. You know, because I know the Africans get bloated from bloodworms, but power cubes. If you can grab some spirulina and brine frozen, I get frozen brine. You want to see the spirulina I use that I got turned on to for my aquarium box and Greg Jones. Really good company. The fish go nuts over this spirulina. It comes in like big kind of hard flakes. You're supposed to water it, put it in water, let it get soft, and it breaks up real nice then. It's like cheese. Alright, this is what I use once in a while. I forgot I had these in the refrigerator to keep them. They're from AgCore. They have a farm set up in, I think, Massachusetts or Rhode Island. And it's crisp, thick flakes. This is what I got with my aquarium box, one of their things. Arctic krill and spirulina, high performance fish food. It's 2 ounces. Let me see. I think this one's open. Nope. They're neither open. I'm just going to open it. The other box is in there somewhere. So it comes like this, right? It's a Ziploc bag, pretty straightforward. But they're like little heavy flakes. But I don't know if you can see the green off of my hand, but this breaks down. It's the spirulina. They grow it all on their own farm and add krill and all that stuff. The stuff's awesome. I just forgot I had it in here. But I will warn you, the stuff does stink. A good stink though. Your fish will love it. The crude protein in it is 56 56% protein, crude fat's 3%, crude fiber is 8% max, moisture is 9%, 1 to 2 times a day. This product is an excellent color enhancer. It's normally natural pigments bleed off and dissipate into the water. You know, this is really good. This stuff is awesome. I've used it. The fish love it, especially the African cichlids. Plecos love this. I mean, it's this chunks. It's literally really hard, thick chunks of flakes. You know how they make it. It comes in thicker thicknesses or whatever you want to call it. Let's see. Every time below. Dan Slee said, I remember Crystal Shack Aquatics is at Dan Slee. I might make some powder and water and then freeze it and see if the fish like that. If you're gonna do that, you might as well get some Rapashi. Fish Tropic, doesn't matter what I do. Dan Slee, not bad idea. Crystal should try adding some sugar, gelatin too. Fish Tropic says I'd rather have blackworms live. I want to get some blackworms live because the fish go nuts for those, even more than bloodworms. So let's see. Crystal Shack Aquatics says Tades and Daphne would like it frozen. To doubt, no joke. I mean, I can read what's in this. Let me see. I had the card on it. I gotta find the card. I'll try and find it later today. Let's see. And they make different things. I know I'm trying to put this in the camera. It says they have different products: 100% spirulina fish food, Antarctic krill with spirulina, carnivore fish food, herbivore fish food, koi snack sticks, omnivore fish food, spirulina squares, starter fried food. Like, this stuff is really high protein, so any fry you have, like when this breaks down in water, it turns into like a really fine powder. But the bigger fish, before it fully breaks down, can eat it. So black lines. Let's see. Teresa Cookie says that Crystal Shack Aquatics mixed with gelatin or Apache. That's what I do. Guppy goes nuts for it. Allison Change. Yeah, I stopped. Too rich and bloodworms can carry whirling disease. Allison Change Aquatics says I killed my blackworm culture. That's a bummer. Fish Tropic says blackworms, crickets, grasshoppers, thyme, paprika, spirulina, garlic, gelatin, super cubes. Yeah, sounds like it. Long on a fish guy says, how often do you feed your fish? I feed my fish usually once or twice a day, and I do have days where I won't feed them, except for the Fahaka, because I want to make sure that pig stays full. Otherwise, he'll start going after the guppies, which I really don't care. But probably every day, at least once a day. Most of the time, it's one feeding a day, unless I'm being generous. But most of the time, it's every other day, depending on what's in the tank and if they can be fasted for a day. Slack Pat Fish Tropic sounds like a yummy salad. Crystal Shack Aquatic Sweet Gut Gelatin, might try that tonight. Might mix some in Hikari First Bites and Nova Bell. Let's see, where did that go? Hi Matt, I guess Matt's here. Fish Tropic says, do your Oscars eat duckweed? Not usually. If the duckweed gets in the 125 behind me, the goldfish wipe it out pretty quickly. Matter of a day or two. I filled up that whole tank where the light barely could penetrate it, and within a week all the duckweed was gone. Maybe they might, when I drop food in, they might get some of the duckweed. But I know the duckweed has good vitamins and whatever proteins in it. So, Fish Tropic says trees a good idea. Fish Tropic calcium I normally add. Let's see. Fish Tropic good for bone development and fry. Matt DLR says hello. And snails, Dexy Stewart. What's up, Dexy? I might be deleting my channel and starting a new one. Okay. Before I got this many subs on this, I was tempted to delete this because this is showing this channel started in 2009 and I only have 700 and something subs. Kind of makes people wonder what I've been doing. But that's your call, Dexy. But if you think you want to do it, do it. Teresa Cookie, I get pretty much a sprinkle of calcium powder on or in all my pets' food. Joel NZ in the house. Fish Tropic, is there any in there? Any in where you're talking about? What are you talking about? Are you talking about this AgCore stuff I got? The thick, crisp flakes with the Arctic krill and spirulina. High protein, high performance fish food. Let's see. There's a non-GMO, nutrient-dense, high-protein, blue-green algae. Temperatures to maximize amount of amino acids and trace nutrients. Chlorophylls, green. Phycobilins, blue. Catenoids, orange and red. Xanthophylls, yellow. No artificial colors. You could pull it up on AgCore's site and it'll tell you what's in each of these. This one happens to be spirulina with an Antarctic krill. I got a mix of them. I have like 6 boxes in my refrigerator because I signed up for my aquarium box. If I can do that, start doing that again, I will, because it's like Christmas every month. You never know what you're gonna get, and a lot of the times with my aquarium box, they get stuff that could be before it comes out onto the market for the general public. So you get like samples from those companies of different things. I got a lot of different ferts, a lot of different foods that were new. Before the bug baits came out for a flu vol, I had tested at least 5 different bottles. Not that I was doing reviews on them, but it was nice. Is there any Crystal Sack Aquatics says, I get my calcium for Port Pet. Allison Chains Aquatics says, what's the best way to add calcium to the water column? I have a couple of tanks that I'm growing a lot of plants out of. If you want calcium, crushed coral. Crushed coral will add some calcium as it breaks down. Not a lot, but more dose with calcium. TDS at the top and the TDS was way down. Worried about snail. Throw some crushed coral. Get yourself like if you buy from Aquarium Co-op, buy a couple of his 1-pound bags. Otherwise, get crushed coral at PetSmart or any other pet retailer like that. They have crushed coral. You probably only need a couple pounds of it. That's not, it'll have enough hardness and it'll have enough for snails to grow in. Let's see. Fish Tropic says, I feed my barbs duckweed, huge protein in duckweed. I started pressing tabs with it. Dan Sleeves, another good calcium source for the aquarium, by the way, is cuttlefish bone. It's not too hard to find since they use it for birds and turtles, because turtles do need a certain amount of calcium in their diet. And when they will scratch on it, and when they hit the cuttle bone, it'll help break down their beak. I used to use cuttle bone all the time for my diamondback terrapins because it would help break down the beak, so their beak wouldn't get so big that they wouldn't be able to eat. Let's see. Teresa Cookies, Allison Chains, added to food. Oyster shells, cuttlefish bone works too. Throwing regular snail shells in there, or shells, will help add some calcium. New England Endler says, I tried eggshells in a tea bag and the bag only lasted about a week. The Fish Loft says, men's one a day. Yeah, right? Allison Chains Aquatic says, thank you. I have cuttlefish bone and feed high calcium veggies, and I will add crushed coral. Crushed coral will stabilize it, and I pretty much have crushed coral a little bit in every tank. It might be under the substrate, but it is in there. You don't need a lot of it to help try to keep the hardness up and keep the buffering capacity there, you know what I mean? And the calcium as the coral breaks down. So let's see. Allison Chance, wait, who sells liquid calcium? I don't know. You might be able to find it on Amazon. Dansley, good to know on the turtles. Makes sense. Yep. Well, at one point I had 4 Diamondback terrapins and a 40 breeder. And that's why I picked up a 125 for like 25, 50 bucks. One of my first videos, if you go way back, was me stripping all the silicone out, cleaning up, re-siliconing that whole 125, and doing a water test for like 72 hours on it. And believe it or not, the silicone job, even though it was my first time resealing a tank, it held. Now, I didn't take all the glass pieces apart. I left the trim. I just cut all the silicone from the inside and re-silicone that. Because that's, as far as I know, that's really all you have to do to reseal a tank. Now, if you want to go crazy and pull the panels off, pull the trim, you can do that. I chose not to, though. Nick the Dick says, I'm back. Punchy and awesome. Fish Tropic says, punchy and awesome stream the other night. 54 Punchy says, hey Nick, 1 + 1 = Fish Aquatics. What's up, brother? How are you been? Dan Slee, story time with at 54 Punchy. Yep. 54 Punchy, thanks to Fish Tropic. It was fun. Laugh Out Loud Dan says, 54 Punchy. Crystal Shack Aquatics is at Fish Tropic. I enjoyed it too. Fish Tropic, I wish I took the video of everything, but I don't have a GoPro. Laugh out loud. That's what I want to get, is a GoPro. Jason, check the Facebook Marketplace up your way. You might be able to find a decent, like, Hero 5, you know, where it's waterproof to 30 meters. That's what I've been looking for, is a small GoPro to just be able to go in my tank so you can get close-up shots of the fish and see what's actually happening in some of the caves. So... Hey Christian, it says Tree's Cookie. 50% Punchy says, I kind of feel bad because I know I do tell stories a lot. I tell stories too, don't feel bad at all. Sometimes that's what keeps people here, is stories. Allison Chain says, laugh out loud, Dan. Mine too. These 2 tanks, I grow plants out of the top. Yep. Let's see. I'm losing the chat. I'm trying to catch up. I got to reseal. I'm nervous about it too. Watch my video. Watch King of DIY. It's not that hard. Use a razor blade. Cut it all out. You know, you can use a painter's razor blade where it's, you know, you just go this. You cut it all out. I would just freehand it with a plain razor by itself to get the bulk of it out. Then strip it down, and then you use some nail polish remover or one of those that break down in water and will just evaporate and leave no trace, like an acetone or something. And you can take the rest of the silicone, the really fine silicone, off. You run the razor again, clean it, dry it. I tape mine with blue masking tape or something like that, like painter's tape, and then I put the silicone in. And I just used my fingers, literally, with blue gloves, you know, the plastic throwaway gloves. And then eventually I just used my bare hands because I was getting dirty. A 125 resale, never done it before, is a project. I'll just leave it at that. It took me like 3 or 4 hours to do the 125 because I didn't like some of that and I was being a perfectionist. 1 + 1 = Fish Aquatics. I've been good, been fishing. Fish Tropic, I can't explain how important it is to have smaller channels stream and show and tell. Teresa Cookie says, you have such a good stories, Pam. Lion on Fish Guy says, I need to try resealing a tank soon. Honestly, check the seams. If it doesn't look like it's leaking, I know most people say 8 to 10 years is probably the max you want to run on it, because after that there's a chance it'll blow out or you might get a leak developing over time. But as long as when you clean your glass you're not like tearing into your silicone, you know, with that razor, that metal blade or whatever, that plastic blade, your silicone should last for a while. Heather Nielsen says, oh, hold on. 54, I bought a gimbal today. That's cool. I want to get the gimbal for my phone so when I walk around it won't be so bad and bouncy, and then I don't need to put it on a tripod. 54 Punchies, I'm going to do one every Wednesday night, Allison. Select Pet says, 54 Punchy, if people didn't like your stream, you wouldn't have kept 20 to 30 viewers the whole time. Yeah, I know. That's how it goes. You get a following, and whenever you stream, it tends to get to that. And if you stream enough and people know you're consistent enough, 20 or 30 will turn into 40 and 50, and so on and so on. Okay, thank you. Time-ish will remain. Set my alarm. Fish Tropic says easy. Bigger is easier. Yep, because it is, because you have more room to move around. The main thing is when you go to put that silicone tube in with the little clicker, you know what I mean, that pushes the silicone out. On smaller tanks, that bounces off the wall, so you can't exactly get there. So sometimes you just got to put a lot up in one of the corners and then spread it down with your finger. And they do make tools where you can get the perfect strip of silicone where this pulls, like, you know, for like tile and stuff, you know, it's like rubber, and it'll perfectly set the bead of silicone there. Then you're done, and then you hit the corners. It's got the corner groove or whatever, and it's easy. I didn't have it. I used my fingers and the gloves. Allison Chains Aquatics says, "Oh, hey, Nick's here. Hi, Nick. 1 + 1 equals fish aquatics. Every one I've upgraded my goldfish to a pond today. It's not done yet, but I'll be filming tomorrow." Nick the Dick does all the emojis. 1 + 1 equals fish aquatics. Hey, 54 punchy. The highest I had was 62 last night. Wow, 54 punchy. Do you have over 1,000 subs? Like, because that's a lot. I'd love to have that. I think my high ever was 27, 28, maybe at most 30. I'd have to go back and check. 54 punchy, the highest. Yep, read that. Long Island Fish Guy said, "Props to you for having 20 people in there at 2 a.m. Honestly, some of my streams, as the later it went and got into more early morning, and it's especially closer to the weekends or on weekends, I've had 27, 28 people here till 4 a.m. watching the stream, you know. That's how, like 2 weeks ago, I had 4,300 hours of out of the 4,000 you need, but then 2 weeks later, just because it's doing a 12-month gap, it dropped off. So that must have been when I took one of my breaks because a lot was going on. My truck was broken down, whatever. Probably right around that time. Last night, it lasted 4 hours. We're all busy talking and laughing. Well, that's what I'm saying is I can start a hangout so people can come in here and it's just not me yabbering on. I mean, we got a solid 20. I just hate to drop below down to 15. But I'll start up a Google Hangouts, and then we can just jump in there, and then I can get Fish Tropic or wherever else wants to join the Google Hangout. Says Teresa, Select Pet, if I start streaming, it will be like 5 a.m. Eastern. My work is crazy, and maybe one day. Allison Chains Aquatics says, "Oh, hey, Nick's here." Oh, yeah, I read that. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, I gotta catch up. That's a great idea, Select Pet. 54, the Priscila M. Carrots is at 54 punchy. I asked my ex today how he's doing. He was laughing because I told him, I shared the story, laugh out loud. 1 + 1 equals fish aquatics now. It's 371 and counting. Teresa Cookie says, "Yeah, I had one of them before. I feed mine duckweed, bloodworms, fish flakes, and softened cos lettuce and spinach and kale." 54 Punchy says, "Laugh out loud. I love that story." Select Pet, I've come into some of the Cappy streams 3 or 4 a.m. when I got off work. Yep. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with chat. That's why I'm kind of rambling through these real quick. Late night, Fish Tropic says, "Late night genius with Cappy. Don't forget to tell your pappy." Yep. David Betancourts Aquariums. Holy shit, brother. Long time no see. How you been? Merry Christmas and happy holidays and all that happy horse shit. Brother from another mother. Long Island Fish Guy says, "Do a hangout. I'd love to chat with you." Hey, David. I wonder how much the salt is in your chat. Crystal Sacks Aquatic says, "Okay, I'll try bloodworms. They don't like the flakes, it seems." David saying hi. What's up, David? He's a DIY, Upside DIY, say, "Hey, savages, I'm moving into 55-gallon plastic barrels, blah, blah, blah." Yep. All right, guys, I'm going to get another thing going, so if I'm not really talking, it's because I'm getting another live stream going or getting it prepped to go for Google Hangouts so I can get off my phone because that's what I'm in. If you want to catch any of the previous stream where I reviewed all the fish tanks, did a quick update, it's at the early part of the stream. I hope you guys move over to the new stream when I get it up just about ready. I'll let you guys know what it is. Let's see. Wrong thing. Where's TubeBuddy? There it is. Let's see. Live streaming. Don't mind me. I got enough internet. I do actually have internet here. I got 400 megs down and 20 up, based on my service. I paid the extra. I just strictly have internet, and it's like $80 a month. It's not bad. I had to treat myself to that with all the extra overtime I've been doing lately. Let's see. Events. Crystal Shack Aquatic at Captain Savage Aquatics. You haven't gotten a beer yet. You need a beer. I'm on my third. Crystal Shacks, I'm already 4 or 5 down, believe me. 3 tall boys and then 2 12-ouncers. So let me go new live event. Just give me a second, guys. Still missing Chaz. I miss Chaz too, believe it or not. I really, truly do. Sorry, I'm on the other thing, guys. Don't mind me. I gotta move the camera a little bit. And plus, when I start the Google Hangouts, it'll be from my PC, so I'll turn on all the lights again in the room, and the camera is better at light balancing. So, late night stream with Cappy and friends. Hashtag fishfam. Hashtag Nantime. Hashtag let it snow. Hashtag all that other bullshit. Copy. Just give me a second, guys. I try to get all this set up. I pretty much got it down to a science. Just need my YouTube description, because that's my newest one that I have to transfer in, so it stops using the old one. Aquarium products. Thanks again for watching. Check. Now, let's see. Sorry if I'm not talking, guys. I'm almost ready now, actually. Let's see. Public, yep, go live. Let me make sure they advance. KG Cichlids is in here. Hey, KG. Laugh out loud, Beard. Who needs that stuff? I do. Recording date today. I'm not going to archive this. I'll leave it normal latency. Check. Alright, guys, I'm going to close the stream down. If you're just catching this one, go to the other one, because I'm starting up a Google Hangout. If you want to come in the chat in the Google Hangouts and get a really, really good, entertaining stream going on for that. So please check that one out. Look at that. We're up to 23 watching. So pop over to the stream. You guys might have to refresh the page and then pick the next stream. So I'm going to shut this one down on my phone. And I'm I'm going to go live with my desktop because I have enough bandwidth. And then I'm going to close this one down. And I'll shoot the link into the chat. Give me a second. Go live now. Let me do this. Put that here. Put this one here. I gotta love Windows 10 being able to split screen. Okay. Put this over here. Settings. I don't want it on that camera. Give me a sec, guys. I'm just turning the other camera on. Save that. Alright. Just waiting for it to load. Once this loads, okay, starting the broadcast over there. Start. Okay. It should be starting. It says the Google Hangouts is on air. Okay, everyone, it's Brian from Captain Savage Aquatics. They're starting a Google Hangouts live stream so we can get some other people in here. Alright, let me open this up so I can get everyone the link. Copy. Gotta love when you can stream to 2 different things. There's the link, guys, for the new YouTube stream. I'm closing my phone down. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate all your support. Now join me over in the Google Hangout stream. Peace out. Take it easy.